There were a few other things I noticed about the haunted house. In the back over here, these wire harnesses, I noticed a few of them had the insulation worn off. So I taped them up. It comes from rubbing up against here and also against the back of the main playfield. One was broke in the lower playfield in the back, and another wire was pulled out of its pin from the connector harness. So have a look at those as well, especially on I guess on any pinball machine, but especially on haunted house. Something else that goes on with haunted house, the Playfield prop, there's a metal arm on the side here. Let's see. It's more light. There's a metal arm. Mine was screwed here in the back. The arm extends out that way. And if you want to keep this upper playfield up, you'll put the arm up and it rests inside this little pocket here. The problem with that is the playfield has to come down pretty low. It's more angled down like this, and you really can't work on it that well. And secondly, every time I was pulling up that arm, it would hit these, it's so close to hitting these relays over here, and sometimes I would hit them, had to readjust the points. It was a pain in the ass. So I took the arm out. I want to just screw it to the back of the game. This way it just stays with the game. And I've got this piece of wood here. I cut it to a length that I needed, and I have it propped up under the lip of where the playfield locks into the lower part of the cabinet here. And the bottom just goes up against the wall by the coin door. Now the playfield is up higher, and I think it's much better supported. I don't have to worry about that relay, the arm that came with it to support the playfield when it's up, of hitting those relays. I think this is a much better way to do it. What I'll do is I'll just keep this piece of wood inside the cabinet on the bottom of it. And it's wood, so it won't short out anything. What else did I notice about the game? I did most of the modifications that's suggested on the pin wiki for System 80 Gottlieb games. Putting the extra ground wires in the head of the game with all the boards. I connected the slam switch up here as suggested. This way it won't give you a game over and cause some other problems. And vacuumed out the bottom. There was a lot of solder shrapnel. I guess when people solder, little drips fall on the bottom, and so I vacuumed all of that stuff out. And there was some loose screws on the bottom, must have fell off the playfield somewhere, or maybe somebody dropped them as they were putting them in and they used other ones. So I cleaned off all the bottom, and that's about it. I'll have it playing in a few minutes. Okay, here's Haunted House up and running, the 1982 Gottlieb Haunted House. Yeah, as you can see, I mentioned before, the segments are stuck on here, and I think that's a 7404 chip on the CPU board. And actually I have the chip, but I'm not going to bother changing it out. I'll wait until after the holidays and change it out. And I'll put that NVRAM in place of the 5101, which means I won't need a battery to keep the memory for high score and the settings and all the rest of that stuff. But the back glass is in pretty good shape. A couple of chips there, over here. Someday I'll touch them up, and over in this corner. Other than that, that's about it. Everything else on the back glass is good. I put LEDs here, over in this section, and in the middle section to brighten it up some. Some areas of the playfield I did use LEDs. Over here for the upstairs double scoring when it lights up, and on the sides here and over here. I don't use a lot of LEDs. I use them in places where it helps to light up the playfield a little bit more. They use less electricity and they generate less heat, so the plastics are less likely to warp, and you're less likely to get peeling on the back glass. But LEDs are not cheap either, so if you have a bunch of games, it's expensive to convert them all to LEDs. So I just pick and choose where in the playfield I tend to do it. And now it's in the middle of a game. I gotta put the glass on. But Haunted House has 3 levels, 3 playing fields. The upper playfield here, which has a flipper on each side. The main playfield starts over here and comes down. And then there's a lower playfield, you can just see it, and it lights up better once the ball drops down. And that has a set of flippers as well. It has drop targets, pop bumpers, kicking targets, like over here, the ball hits it and it kicks it out. Kick out holes, here's the extra ball hole over here. It goes into this little hidden area and it kicks back out again when it's lit, getting an extra ball. You go to the upper playfield, there's really 2 spots. Up the ramp here from the main playfield, or when you shoot the ball out, can bounce around here, and if it's kind of hard to tell with the lighting, but it goes down over here, and there's a vertical up kicker from the main playfield to the upper playfield. Now to get down to the bottom playfield, there's a few different ways. One of them is, again, you come over this way, and it goes down to the cellar, the bottom playfield through that hole, or the center drop target drops down and the ball will go down to the bottom. There's a trap door here which opens up depending on what you hit on the playfield, on the main playfield. The trap door opens up and you get the ball around that way, it goes down. Or from the upper playfield, the ball will drain this way. You can either drain down here or go down the ramp that way. So it's really cool. This is one of my favorite games for sure. Complicated to fix, because there's so many different levels, and but it's not bad. Once you get used to fixing machines, it really isn't too bad to keep it going. And once you do the upgrades as suggested on the PinWiki for Systematic Gottlieb games, it's pretty reliable. But like any machine, it's 40 years old. It's going to have its little issues here and there that you have to just keep up with. So I'll put this on again in a minute once I have the tripod set up. And the cabinet on this one is, I think, in very good shape. You really can't tell because it's so dark in here. But it's a beautiful cabinet all around. Tough to get a good camera angle with just one camera, but at least you get some of the play. The music is pretty awesome on this for 1982 technology. that's it. A great game. I'll fix the displays probably in a few weeks. I change out the chip. I got to unsolder the existing chip and put a socket in and put the new chip in. I'll replace the NVRAM. And that's about it. One other thing to mention, there's a pinball set out there called Pinball Rebel, I think it is. And from there, there's a whole bunch of links. And they have these custom cards instead of the typical ones that come with the machine. Really nice. Different designs. So many games out there. You can just download these cards, the file, and just go to your local library, or if you have a color printer, and print them out. I got to redo these because I didn't have the sizing quite right. You can see the white on the outside here. They're just going to make the sizing a little bit bigger. But I think it looks a lot better than the original, just black background and white lettering. That's all it was. So these are much more nicer. And here's the one on get the lighting right. The one on this side. Really nice looking. So it has a little bit more to the game, as far as the look. So that's it. Haunted House, 1982 Gottlieb. Thank you.